guys, Betsy here with Unique Paper 15. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today's card is a fun one. It's my Avery Elle. I've taken a Viking to you in my MFT Hello die. I'm going to do some simple masking here. I stamped him once and then I cut the beard out by hand, and then I just stamp over him where the sentiment would have been so that I end up with a Viking without a sentiment in his beard. So you simply pull that off and there you go. You have a Viking without a sentiment. And he's a small little guy, but he is so fun to color. So I take some simple browns and I start with the beard. And I just give him a darker brown looking beard, and I'm doing some simple flicks from the bottom, from the top, and then just kind of line the edge there. And you can use whatever browns or a red beard. You can give him whatever color beard you want because the card's going to turn out with the same concept in the end. But I can link the colors down in the description if you're interested. So now I'm just coming in with another shade of brown, a little darker, with a little more red to it, and flicking from the top and bottom. And now same thing. I'm going to come in with a deeper brown. And I'm going to enhance the mustache and underneath the mustache to kind of give some contrast between the mustache and the beard. And you see here I'm just darkening it up, and I know it looks really dark right now, but now I'm going to come in with praline and from Winsor & Newton and kind of lighten it up. So I'm going to blend those together and then make the center of the beard lighter than the edges. And you'll see here, it all blends out nice. And again, the mustache there blended as well. Now I'm coming in with a much lighter color. I believe this is my E50. And I'm just going to lighten it up. And blend it together because I lightened it up a little too much. So I came back in with that praline. And you see just some simple flicks there. And now it's blending. You don't notice that the center is too light. Okay, I think the beard is done. So now I'm going to move on to the rest of him. I'm going to come in with my greens. I decided, first I want to do his skin, his little bit of skin. His face is such a very small surface area. So I do my basic EOOs, my YROO, and I believe my E11, just to give him a little bit of shadow. But he's a very small face, and this is my E13. That's where I give him the most shadow. And that's it, his face is done. Now back to the greens. I have 5 different green colors here, and I start off with my darkest first. And I'm just going to do his shirt and the top of his hat. I came back in there just to finish some of the hair he had sticking out of the hat. So now back to the hat and the shirt. I chose another green. These are just a combination of dark greens, and you can see I'm just barely adding any color. But I'm getting lighter and lighter towards the center. So I just used the dark on both sides. I didn't do like a light source from the right or the left. I made it even so that it's smack dab in the middle to make it easy. And you'll see why. He should not have a light source because at the end it's not going to matter. So now I'm just coming in with some grays and I'm doing his boots. And again, just dark on the left, light in the center. Very simple. If you keep to this style, it makes your coloring so much easier. There's not a lot of thought behind it. You just know I need to darken the left and the right and leave the middle lighter. It just makes your life so much easier. So that's what I did with his little pieces here. And I color him in to the lightest gray, which is I believe my IG1, and that's a Spectre Noir. Then I go and I do his horns. I do his horns in this Dick Blick Antique White, just to make it look more bone, kind of like. All right, so now here we go. We're going to take a piece of brown paper and cut out the word hello. from this MFT Big Hello die. And this brown paper is really cool. It's got this, I don't know, almost like canvas texture. It's very neat. So I figured it looked rustic-y, woody, Viking-y. And now I'm going to fussy cut him out by hand, and I want to get as close to him as possible. I don't want to leave any white edge. So there, he's done. I'm going to trace the outside with a black marker just to give him that crisp look, and line up the hello with the biggest part of the die over him, which is the E. A little bit of the H and a little bit of the L, but mainly that E. So now he's cut out. You want to save every single little piece. Break him up, but save all those little tidbits that come from the die. So you might want to use like a white piece of paper or something, which I should have done here, so you see all the little pieces. I picked some ombre green paper and a gray piece of paper backed on white for the background papers. I thought it went nice with him since he's got some green and gray in him, and the white is just for a contrast against that black. So very simple, kind of a nice masculine card. You could give this to a man, I would assume, or a woman. I just think that it has a nice masculine touch. So now we're going to go ahead and take out some foam tape and just cut pieces that are thin enough to pop up every single letter that we cut. We're going to pop those guys up individually before we get started with assembling the cut Viking over him. It makes your life a lot easier if you do it this way. I had done it the opposite way the first time I made this card, but I learned my lesson, and this is definitely the easier way to go, so take my advice. So we're almost done. Working on the O here, bend that foam tape, and now I'm going to line just a really light line here close to the bottom so that I know I put all of the letters on straight. So I'm going to line them up, make sure that they fit, and I know that he needs a little more space because we have the Viking going over that E. So once I know I have them in the place that I want them to start, I'm going to line up that Viking negative cut of the E where I want it to go. That way all the other letters can be aligned accordingly, if that makes sense. So now I'm putting what is left of the Viking piece on that E and putting it in the middle where it belongs. Same with the H and the L. I'm just using some two-way glue pen there, and you'll see where they belong because it only fits in that spot because it was cut out from the die. And now I'm just lining up the L and the piece that came off of him that was on the L. It really is simple. It looks like it might be very intricate, but it's not. These pieces show you where they need to go. So all these little pieces parts, the L and the O, putting on all the little final pieces here. And it's easy if you use a Zig 2A glue pen, because if you need to correct yourself, you can. It gives you a few seconds to realign. So now I'm just adhering that ombre green to the gray. Now I'm going to put it on the white, again for that contrast, because now we're going to go ahead and put it on that black, which really makes the card pop in the end. And with just a little border there. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the card base. I like to trim up my edges just so everything's nice and crisp. Even if they are crisp, I think it's habit. I just always have to trim my edges. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scoreboard here and make a nice crisp fold and make my card base the perfect size I need. Just trim it down there. And now I'm going to trim it down, and I'm going to put him on the card base. So he goes right on top, and he shouldn't have much of a border at all because we already put white in that card. So you can see. Now I'm going to take out my Spectrum Noir sparkle markers, and I'm going to hit those green areas just to give it a little extra something. I take my clear for the areas that are not green just to bring a little more attention. Now I'm going to put a few sequins in the green shade. I thought this was such a nice touch. It's not over the edge, it's a nice and clean card. So I have 3 different shades of green there. And that's what it looks like. I love the dimension on this card. Isn't he so cute? I love this card. I ended up making a few of them. Do you see the dimension there? And the way that hello just pops off the page? I like it a lot. I hope you guys liked the card. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends if you'd like. Alright guys, thanks so much. Have a great day.